Hey guys, and welcome back to The Occasional Angler. We do tips, trips and advice for you anglers out there who are born to fish but forced to work. We're down at my local river. It's the end or mid October now, so we're well into the pike season, and I'm going to go lure fishing for pike. Hey guys, well, down at my local river, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. It feels like 6 o'clock in the morning. It's quite mildish. It's there's a bit of a sort of fog over the water. The water clarity is not brilliant because it's been raining a bit over the last few days, but yesterday it basically didn't rain, so hopefully it's a little bit clearer than it would have been yesterday. We're only here for an hour. This is an hour fishing session, one of my 1 hour challenges. These are designed to show you guys out there who basically have a lot of pressures and time pressures in life and can only get out to go fishing every now and then, that you can go and catch fish in a very short space of time. I've got 1 hour. I'll stay an hour down here, and then I've got to go back home. So I'm going to make it count. I'm down here with my lure fishing stuff. I'm travelling really light. I've got a couple of extra lures with me. I've brought along my Diawa. This is a Diawa Zillion rod, and I've got a Garcia Ambassador Toro. I'm going to be fishing a Westin Shadteez. This is the 19 centimetre, and I've made up this sort of stinger rig on it. So let's go and see if we can catch a fish. Oh, look at that. Can't quite get enough of that kind of thing in the morning. Just a river all to myself and mist hanging over it. Beautiful. Okay, let's see if there's anything along this margin. I'm just going to keep on casting and moving, and hopefully we'll find a feeding fish. The visibility in the water is not great. It's probably a couple of foot, but this is a particularly sort of flashy lure as well. I think if I don't find that I'm getting any follows or takes after probably 20 minutes, I may go on to something a little bit more colourful as a lure. I might go for something quite sort of bright, but I mean, this is quite a big lure. It's got loads of flash. I do think even in these coloured conditions, or slightly coloured conditions, that if I pull it past a pike, I think there's a good chance he'll take it. Remember, it's not just visual. They feel movement as well. They've got motion, if you like, motion sensors down their sides, so they don't necessarily have to see it visually. Anyway, let's see what happens. I'm feeling quietly confident, I think. That does look good, and the visibility actually is probably a little bit better than I think it is, because it's still quite early in the morning. I'm just sort of fan casting around here, so almost dissecting what's in front of me into a sort of clock face, just so I've made sure I've gone over all of the sort of angles. But you know, if I'm coming to a place like this, I'm looking along this margin here, I'm looking along that margin there, I'm kind of looking along this margin here. That's where I think, if I was a pike, that's where I'd be hanging out. So get something close to the margin. Quite often they'll sort of follow it for a bit. Sometimes they're sitting in the middle. I mean, you just can't tell. but I kind of feel like I've covered a lot of water here quite quickly, and if there was a feeding fish it would have taken it, and they haven't. So let's move on. These lures do look good in the water, like they've got a lot. These Shadteez have got a huge amount of body roll, so they flash up quite a bit, which is brilliant because like it just sends out a massive light signal from their belly. So if there is any sort of fish knocking around, they'll see that, and also with all that body roll, it sends out a lot of vibration through the water. So even if they're not seeing it, they'll feel it. Okay, one last cast. I'll just go straight this way. Oh, hey guys, right, so sticking and moving, we're just working our way along the river. I'm going to keep on working this near side margin, and I hope that there's some pike knocking around here. So for me that would have probably been one of my more likely casts. This will be another one, right along this margin. So I could quite easily imagine a pike just sort of like sitting under some of this cover, coming out and nabbing that. Right. I feel like those are covered off quite nicely there. We'll just fan cast around, see if there is anything else about, and if there isn't, then I'll just move on. And for this kind of fishing to work, that really, unless you really know something specific, like there's a fish which always holds up in a specific area, then really this is the sort of aim of this. Travel light. I've just got a de-hooking mat with me, a box of lures, and yeah, stick and move, find them. You know, this is, you're hunting for the fish rather than setting a trap, so to speak. Nice thing about now is it hasn't really been sunny for several weeks, and whereas this river was basically unfishable about a month ago, now a lot of that weed growth has died back. In fact, you can probably see large lumps of it, you can probably see large lumps of it just floating down the river as we speak. Right, 2 more casts, and then I feel like we will have covered ourselves off. Obviously this isn't quite as detailed as... Oh, wait a second, we just had a touch there. Come on, something just hit that. I don't know quite why he didn't take it. Don't know how he missed that. Where did he bite it? Bit it right on the tail. So that was a knock on the tail. Okay. Interesting. Right. Let's bring it back through there again. See if we can actually get him to properly commit to that. He didn't touch a hook. I'm just sort of surprised. Usually this kind of fishing, they're not too ginger about it. Okay guys, we swapped up to a slightly smaller lure, but a much brighter lure. Let's see, it's going to be travelling down a little bit deeper through the water as well. So it might just get more on the sort of level of some of the fish which we're going for. And hopefully with that extra colour, it should just be that bit more visible. Okay, we've caught a pike at last. That took some doing. He's not a big one. Here's a pike. Have we hooked him? Oh dear. Stays in the wrong place. Hey guys, well, eventually we got one. We caught him on a little Western Shadteez. He's probably, he's not big, he's probably about 4 pounds, quite aggressive. Okay, let's put him back. Hey guys, well that comes to the end of our trip. Now it was a very short one. We're down here for probably more like an hour and a half this morning. Eventually I had 2 missed takes, God knows how they missed it. Eventually we came through with the Shadteez. I think we're suffering today a little bit because it's been raining a lot down here and the river still is in flood a bit. You know, the water level's quite high and the water's quite dirty as well. That's why I went for this bright colour. It eventually paid off, but it was tough going. Anyway, I hope this video inspires you guys to get back out there, go fishing. You can do it in a short space of time. Come on guys, get out there and leave me some comments. I'd love to know what you guys are doing, if you're going out there catching fish, if you're putting any of this stuff in which I'm sort of showing you on my channel into effect, or if you've got anything which you're doing which I could learn from. I'd love to know. Okay, until next time, best of luck with your own fishing adventures.